face it, we're all kind of used to that at this point. Again, that's good when it works, but not so good when it doesn't. Causes a little bit of hassle. But the eagle-eyed user may notice there's now 14 drivers as opposed to 13. The Sad Pancake has joined. He'll be starting at the back of the grid. One thing I didn't know, as you can see on the screen now, it's lashing down. Raining cats and dogs. All those guys in the umbrellas, they're getting all wet. Guys, get your hoods up. What are you doing? Honestly, get cold in that weather. But yeah, we're back in Imola for Super Sunday racing. The potential championship decider depending on how Bugs Bunny does this race. Apex Finley's and Amaguner are the two challengers at this point, but I think Amaguner needs to significantly beat Bugs Bunny to stay in it. I've got a comment. I'm gonna go ahead and guess that it's maybe Barry. Barry loves a little comment. Wonder, and he likes a little interaction with the race. We're on the formation lap, I believe. Yeah. So just gonna have a look at the comments then. If I can get it out. Apparently I can't. I can't look at it right now, guys, but we'll come back to that. But yes, Sad Pancake has joined us. And speaking of Mr. Basil, he's got some inside news that after the result of today's race, he is driving under the influence. The guy's hammered. So, I say hammered, he said he's had 10 Bud Lights, but 10 Bud Lights, I don't know what his drinking tolerance is like. In a full wet race, it's going to be wet all race, it's not going to improve. So this is going to be a little bit chaotic, and I will not be surprised if we have about 5 people finish this race. Imola, a very difficult, very technical track. If I can get the track map up again. It's real twisty, a lot of high speed braking zones and very little room for error. All the guys on wet tyres, trying to get as much heat into them as possible. For the moment, Crossfire comes down into sector 3 now, to line up for the grid. But I suppose these two guys, Bugs Bunny and Apex, they're ones to watch off the start. Amaguner and Veloce have collided, it seems. We've got the Alpine of Trunders into the wall. Get damage. I don't even know if you can get damage in the formation lap. Looks okay to me. But Amaguner and Veloce have collided on the formation lap, disqualifying them from it. So these guys might not get the best launch at the start with those colder tyres compared to everyone else. So yeah, Sad Pancake joining late, missed the qualifying. So he's lucky that we ended up with the lobby bugging out, because now he gets a chance to race. So as he joins the back of the grid, we'll keep an eye at the guys at the front and see how they get away, and hopefully all gets away better than the last time I commentated here, because it was absolute chaos. So 3, 4, 5 red lights and terrible camera angle. Away they go. Crossfire gets a decent exit. Apex doesn't look to though. Will Bugs Bunny make it up the inside? Oh, we got chaos. We got chaos. There's about 4 or 5 wide here. So we've got a McLaren on the grass. Crossfire makes it into turn 1. Kingsholm getting a 1. Wow. P5 to P2. Is that a McLaren spinning with a yellow in sector 1? An AlphaTauri around. It's Warren. Kingsholm got a one heck of a launch. He's up in the P2 ahead of Apex Finley and Amaguner. Bugs Bunny drops to P5 in the Alpine. We've got a Red Bull, Shug's Life I think it is, taking out the barriers. The sponsorship will not be happy with that one. Oh, Kingston getting all out of shapes from the exit. Apex Finley on the grass, and oh, what? This is getting hairy into the second sector. Kingston on the outside, has to run slightly wide. Almaguner up the inside into P2. He's got the start he wanted. As these guys get down into Minerali. Oh, fairly okay at the minute. King David, it wasn't McLaren, I seen spin. He's near the back. Mr. Basel holds steady in P10. Sad Pancake up to P9 from the back of the grid. He got a great start to the race. We'll see if anyone comes in for damage. It looks like Warren's going quite slowly, so I would suspect he's got some sort of damage to his car. Crossfire Strikes comes around the corner with 2.5 second gap roughly. By the end of the first lap. Warren, it looks like Warren's no wing, no front wing whatsoever. He's gonna have to pit. Yellow flag in sector 1. Bugs Bunny's out. What has happened? He's tangled with Almaguner. Bugs Bunny will not win the championship today. He's had to come together with the Aston Martin of Almaguner, who doesn't seem to have too much damage. I'm not sure what's happened there, and Warren has not finished. On the end of lap 1 we're down to 12 drivers already. So that'll make things interesting for the final race, because Apex Finley can, if he can capitalise on this race, he could be a double world champion. Double world, well maybe not world champion, double drivers champion in Limitless Gaming Esports Championship. Let's see what's happening. If there's any mention of any drama. We're under the virtual safety car at the moment. Bugs Bunny. Bugs Bunny seems to think Almaguner's turned into him. We're not sure. So, we're under VSC, I suppose, to talk about the championship a bit more and a bit more clarity. So, doing the mathematics, Apex Finley has to score at least 2 points today to keep his championship hopes alive. So, technically speaking, Bugs Bunny could finish the championship today in first position. Velocity's pit, he got a 5-second penalty for speeding under the pit lane, but this virtual safety car has ended now, so we're back under racing conditions. King's home after that absolutely stonking start up to P2 and Apex Finley in P3. Sad Pancake back in the grid. It's lap 3, son. You're P4. Come on, man. Like, you know, at least make it exciting. Having a great drive so far. He'd be glad he joined. Mr. Basel, he's up to P8. Trunders is up to P6. Let's just get the position changes up and see who our biggest winners and losers are so far. So, obviously, like I said, Sad Pancake is up 10 positions from the race start. He is having a field day. Trunders up 3 positions, Shug's Life up 4. Mr. Basel currently up 2 positions and boosted up there in P9. I think that would actually be his best ever result if it ended, so he's probably praying it would be a 5-lap race. Biggest loser obviously Bugs Bunny, he's dropped out of the race, but other than that we've got Almaguner, the guy who tangled with him. Velocity and King David are biggest losers off the start. So yeah, let's keep an eye out on these guys. So King's Home has a very scary looking Mercedes on his gearbox, who's looking like he's going to line up a move now. He's in the slipstream as they go down into turn 2. They're side by side. Don't do a Bottas and Russell, please. Apex brakes slightly earlier than King's Home. King's Home very late in the brakes and makes that corner beautifully. This is a battle definitely to watch. Crossfire Strikes comfortably out in front at the moment. Having a field day. It's lap 4 and he's almost 9 seconds ahead of the guys behind him who are squabbling and losing out because of it. Sad Pancake, keep an eye on him too, 2 seconds behind those guys, and the time is closing. Mr. Basel is trying to make ways up the field on Shug's Life. Like I say, he's hammered, so he's probably got more ballsy than he normally is. Let's see if he wants to stick it up the inside, maybe around the outside. He goes round the outside, runs deep into the corner, and comes back up. Oh, this is going to get hairy, I think. Down into Minerali, up the inside, and spins. He gets tangled with Shug's life and goes round. Oh, that'll be disappointing for him. Can he get back on track safely? Yeah, that all looks good. No cars around him. So let's keep an eye on these two again. So into turn 2 last time, side by side, as Crossfire strikes, gets the fastest lap. Apex Funny runs slightly wide at the apex, might get a warning for that. Doesn't look as close as he was to King's Home on this lap, but will he still have a go? Sal Pancake narrows the gap down to 1.1 seconds. He's looking good for a great result so far. Apex Funny not challenging on this occasion. I think he's going to bide his time for the sake of the championship. He just needs a decent result today. Although he looks like he's going to go for a move into Villeneuve, but again thinks better of it. Just needs to bide his time and see if he can make that move at the right place. So Mr. Basel, after a spin, he's dropped down to P10. He's 7 seconds off the back of Boosted, but that time is coming down. Boosted on for his, well, he's in the best position I've seen him in. If he keeps going the way he is and keeps it on the black stuff, this guy could be doing alright, you know. Sure, he'll be ball, but the second time in Alfa Romeo has impressed me here this week. The Sal Pancake now 0.6 of a second. Apex Funny runs really wide. He's now 0.6 of a second off the back of that Mercedes. Let's watch these guys again as they come into Rivalsa. Crossfire Strikes just pumping these fastest laps in. Boosted gets a 3-second time penalty though. Kingston getting all hairy in the exit. That'll give Apex an opportunity. Look at the amount of battery he has. They should burn it all now. Sector 3 yellow flag. Not sure. It looks like an Alfa Romeo. It might be Mr. Basel as Apex goes up the inside again. Kingston breaking later. Keeps it nicely within the limits. Yeah, let's have a look and see. I think that was Mr. Basel. Having that spin, has he got damage? Does he pit? No, he's keeping it. So, bit of a train forming at the moment, from P2 right down to P6. Trunder's just on the back of that. He's just about a second off the back of them. So, the longer these guys squabble, the more likely they are to form. Well, keep that train going, I suppose. Anyone want to buy a ticket? Train ticket that late? Oh, Apex trying to line up a move around the outside and goes up the inside of Minerali, but thinks better of it. Up the hill towards the chicane. Has to line up that move or he's going to come under threat from Sal Pancake. He's right on his gearbox. Could be one of his best performances ever too. This is heating up nicely. Well, not the heat, it's still teeming down with rain. But once these guys go down the start-finish straight again, of course there's no DRS today because of the rain. I've been informed it's going to be a full wet race. No winters, full wet. Kingston comfortably out in front this time. Doesn't look like he's going to make a move, or Apex is going to make a move. Look at Germany. Looks like he's trying to line up Sal Pancake a bit. Trunder's just chilling, just having a good time, watching all this drama in front of him. He's hoping there's a bit of contact or something that he can capitalise on. Mr. Basel still down the back here. Varazzi trying to chase him down into the points. Amaguner, of course, trying to recover. He gets a 3-second time penalty. That's not going to help his cause. Either Crossfire Strikes just cruising. If he can keep it on the black stuff here, he's comfortably won this race. He gets purple sector 2, so expect another fastest lap from him here. I suppose the interesting thing we should talk about is what sort of a tyre strategy we should expect today. You know, we've seen Ocon did it in Turkey. He went the whole race, but there's something chaos between. That train is no longer a train; it's just a cluster. Look at Germany ran really wide there. I'm not sure what happened. Trunders has got himself up into P5. Sal Pancake still P4, Apex P3, and Kingston P2. These guys want to get through and gone from each other, because the longer this train keeps going, the more at risk they are. Apex looks like he's lined up a move again. He's got the overtake button on, I'm assuming. Yes, he is. He's around the outside this time. Kingshome squeezes him just towards the grass. Kingshome breaks late. Apex going around the outside. Kingshome runs deep, but keeps it within the track limits again. Proving to be very difficult to overtake. But Apex gets a better exit. He's going to look at a move up on the Villeneuve. Kingshome just offending. These two are going to be going at it for most of this lap, I think. Apex trying to line up a move around the outside. He needs to get a good exit though. And he does. Can he keep it in front? Oh, Kingshome spins! Has front wing damage, not sure if it was contact there. I think he's maybe just let up the throttle on the exit. Can't be certain, but guess we'll have to keep an eye on that, and that's going to be devastating for him. Apex Finlay though, capitalising. He's up to P2. Only in terms of the championship, the only place he can go better is first. Well, with Crossfire's pace, it's not looking too likely at the moment. Sad Pancake again, he's gone up to P3, he'll be happy. He's 9 laps in and he's gone from last to a podium. See if he can hold on to that. Penalty wise, that's what I'm trying to get. So, Veloce is a 5-second penalty. He might serve that in the pit lane now. Kingshome's come into the pits there to see on the track map to get that front wing change. Amaguner with a 3-second penalty at the moment. That's not going to help him in his championship hopes. I think from memory he needs at least P5 to keep his hopes alive. We have a Red Bull. Shug's life round just after turn 3. Gets back on track. Don't think there's any damage from what I can see. So we can keep going. I'm expecting a lot of the drivers to spin today. Kingshome comes out behind Amaguner on fresh wets. I'm assuming he's going to try and go to the end on those. You see how he gets on. He was putting up a defensive masterclass there. Look, it's a Germany though. Has a spin again. I'm expecting a lot of spins today because it's going to be so easy to light up those rear tyres with the wet. With how wet the track is, it's like puddles everywhere. All the guys, you can really tell who's running the no traction control with the assists. Apex Finley's trying to open up a gap now to Sad Pancake, and it looks like he's doing okay at that. He is, however, if you have a little gander to the bottom of your screen there, he's underfueled. He's going to be hoping for a safety car, I think. Sad Pancake isn't. Is anyone else? Sorry, Amaguner's kind of known for doing it. Mr. Basil's into the wall! Are we looking at a potential safety car? The wet race claiming a lot of victims at the moment. We've got a safety car. So, this is going to bunch the pack up. I can see, I'm expecting a lot of these guys to come in and pit, not reset their strategies and that they probably won't be able to go to the end from this point in the race. So, Mr. Basil's out, Bugs Bunny's out, Warren's out. It's only lap 10. See what way we end up. Oh, and he's gonna join me for commentary.
Hello.
Hello. What happened?
As Kingshome said on Tuesday, I crashed.
Oh, he'll probably be thanking you today because you've just done him a massive favour.
I've just been in chat with him during the race there, and as soon as I crashed out, instead of saying something along the lines of "unlucky Mr. Basil" or "I'm sad you're at the race," it was "get in, safety car." So yeah, all I can say really is I hope he's next in the comms box.
but it could end up with quite a full comms box today. I genuinely, at this point, I would not be surprised if there's about 5 people finish. So Velocio's pit, I've just seen he'd served his penalty in the pit lane, which was probably the wise decision here. But yeah, I'm expecting a lot of people to end their race prematurely, shall I say. He's also pit. Go ahead, mate. Sorry.
Yeah, it's one of these tracks where, you know, I mean, for me personally, this track was, when it first came out, was just an absolute bane. You know, I didn't like it. Last few races I've done on it, I've done decent. I'm starting to really like the track, knowing the turns and how to do them properly. But as soon as you get that little bit of rain, man, it turns it upside down on the head, man. It's
a little bit of rain.
Well, like I said, I was in chat with King's Home and Shug's Life, and I was behind Shug's Life at one point, and I literally said to him, all I can see is your nameplate. Couldn't see the car. It's not ideal driving conditions, but it is what it is.
It can't always be dry. I'm not a fan of the wet races either, to be fair. And of course, in the spectators menu, you don't really get the real representation of how much spray come off the back of the cars. I suppose if anyone is a real life F1 fan, if you take yourself back to Belgium this year, if you haven't seen it, go have a little look. You'll probably see why they cancelled that race.
Give yourself 6 hours if you're watching the whole thing.
I think 5 minutes was enough. After 5 minutes, you'll get the gist of what actually happened. But there's not much racing. I don't even know if they put highlights up. I'm actually going to go and check, because I would love to know what highlights they actually.
I was actually at Leeds Festival that weekend. When the Belgian Grand Prix was on. I was gutted I was missing the race. Didn't know anything about it. I was going to watch it later on in the day when I got home. Literally got back into work, put the TV on, and it was like 3 minutes until race resumes, and I was like, eh? I was like, what's going on? Sending texts out to people who watch F1. I was like, what's going on? And like, you've missed nothing. I was like, oh well, fair enough.
So I've just checked F1's YouTube channel. They've got not highlights, so actually I suppose technically it is highlights. They haven't called it highlights because it didn't actually happen, but they've got a 3-minute, I'll call it a recap of that race. You know, that's probably all you need to see, to be honest. You'll get the picture pretty quickly of why it didn't resume. Did Kingsholm say what happened to him? That he spun? Did he make contact with Apex, or?
All he said was, it was a good battle, a good fight. I think he spun out. Wasn't sort of any damage to another car or anything. Just it was his own accord.
I was on board with Apex at the time, and I just seen him I seen him spin, but I didn't see whether there was contact between the two or not. For anyone wondering why Apex is revving his car out, so anyone new to the game probably won't know why. To tell you the truth, I'm a bit confused myself because his fuel indicator's still low. But if you rev your engine out, you burn more fuel. So under the safety car, you'll tend to save. Well, you could save maybe half a lap, full lap, depending on how long it is. He doesn't want that because he wants the light car, so that he has the better straight line speed, better launch out of the corners. Basically, that's the gist of it. Looking at the strategies now, though, Apex it's probably in the best shape for the win here, really. I'm not sure if Crossfire's just planning to go the whole race without pitting. He did have the most pace. I'm talking he was about 13-14 seconds in front, maybe even more.
Rapid in qualifying, Crossfire's was.
Rapid. The guy's 1 lap pace is a joke, and he's starting to show his pace in the race now too. His results have just been a little bit unlucky. He's been spinning out or getting into contact, but today really has been shining so far. But Apex is on the fresh tyres. He hasn't got any penalties. He's going to have a pace advantage if he can maximise the tyres that he's on, I suppose is what I'm trying to say. Shug's Life didn't pit. He's on 12 lap old wets. Kingsholm didn't pit because he pit a couple of laps before, as did Veloce and Amaguner. I'm expecting a safety car in this lap, to be honest, but I haven't seen it pop up.
Safety car in this lap.
Oh, there it is. There it is. We'll see what Crossfire does as he starts to back up the pack. The good old camera angles.
Oh, look at here, Jeremy spun out.
Is he into that? Oh, I can't see him. The camera angle's not doing it justice.
I think he might have wing damage on that. Potentially. It doesn't look like he has, no.
It's going to be devastating for him. He's had an incident already.
He was just warming his tyres up and lost the back end.
Devastating for him. So I'll promote Apex to P2 with a very, very impressive Sam Pancake right in his gearbox so far. He's been driving really well today. He started at the back of the grid, as we know, and he's up to the podium. Velocity gets a 3-second time penalty though for...
He must have got wing damage. He's in the pits now, look, this here, Germany.
Oh, he's going to be devastated with that. Yeah, we got a new wing going on that. Yellow flag sector 1 with a Mercedes. Is it Veloce? No damage. Not sure what's happened. But yes, the massive train of cars on lap 14 coming up the hill into sector 2. Everyone's staying nice and neatly inbound so far as they go down the hill into Minerali. Everyone's being very respectful. Apex, I suppose, is just trying to prep a move to potentially go up the inside or outside, I suppose, of
Trunda's is close to making a move on Shug's life here.
The other Alpine. Of course, we've seen Bugs Bunny crash out early, and he's going up at the outside of Shug's life. Shug's life doesn't really seem to put up much of a fight. Shug's brakes very late. I thought he was going to run into the back of him, and he's off, and he's round. He's dipped a foot in the gravel as everyone else comes driving through. Promotes Trunders to P4.
I'm going to have a quick walk down to the pit side and have a word with the Mercedes pit crew. See the situation with Apex's fuel intake. I'll be right back in 2 minutes.
No problem. He's just for those of you who don't know, Barry can't pick up his accent. He's from Newcastle. He's just going to take a little stroll down to Italy. He'll be back with us shortly, I'm sure. Let's keep an eye on Apex Friendly then. So he's been trying to line up a move on Crossfire, who admittedly has been saving his battery rather well compared to Apex, but Apex of course trying to push onto the back of Crossfire. He's hoping to maximise Bugs Bunny's exit. Like I say, he needed to score 2 points to keep his championship alive, but if he scores 18 or 25, next week's final in Abu Dhabi will get very juicy. Something similar to what we've seen in real life today, and we'll try and not have a similar outcome to the real race today. Like I said at the start of the qualifying stream, very controversial result, but Apex doesn't seem to be close enough to Crossfire strikes to me to think about making a move. Gap's about 7/10 at the minute and doesn't seem to be closing in much. Amaguner puts in the fastest lap of the race so far, but we'll expect that to drop. Maybe, like I say, Germany on those fresher wets could be thinking about putting in a better lap. Boosted, let's talk about Boosted as he drives across the chicane. But I mean, he's on for a good result here, you know, and he's not, I know he just had a safety car, but he's not off the back of the pack. He's one of those drivers I've been keeping an eye on this last while. You know, whenever he first joined, he was off the pace. I think he'd admit that himself, but definitely one of those drivers I've noticed improvement in. He'll be racing on Tuesday night racing full time next season. I'm not actually sure who he's teamed up with off the top of my head, but he'll be full time on Tuesday next season. Definitely a driver I've noticed improvements in. You know, he's worked on his consistency, and I think the consistency's improved. You know, and he's looking good for some points today. But let's go back to Crossfire and Apex. So again, that gap just sitting at 7/10. Apex just does not seem to be able to make any gains on him. I think maybe Crossfire's running less downforce because he just seems to be flying on those straights, which is causing all sorts of problems. Sal Pancake and Trunder's now starting to drop back a little bit. Sal Pancake, as I said, gets a 3-second time penalty. And King's home after that spin. He's coming up on the back of Trunders. I believe is that Barry back from Italy. Barry, how was the flight?
Hello there. Yeah, it was good. Yeah, I've been down to the Mercedes pit crew. I've had a word. Total Wolf was not very happy. Apparently, Apex, before he got into his car, had a siphon pipe into the fuel tank, sucking fuel out using his mouth, and he's not very happy about the situation.
So anything to gain a time advantage there for Apex, including drinking petrol, diesel, fuel, whatever you want to call it. just again, of course we don't recommend that. Any kids watching, yeah, we don't recommend drinking fuel. Doctors, 9 out of 10 doctors say that's bad for your health.
It's only the North Korean doctor that advised it.
So again, we'll keep an eye on Apex and Crossfire. So let's have a look at that split time. Sitting at 6/10 just at the exit, but as Crossfire heads down the straight, it just doesn't seem to be closing. I think he's running less downforce, and that's where he's getting his advantage at the moment. It's going to take...
Amaguna's going to make a move on King David.
Let's go down and have a look.
In turn 1, no, he backs off.
Thinks better of it. He's already had a spin, he doesn't want to go for another one, but... Oh, he nearly had one again. Just a bit of a time snapper. Whoa, was that Veloce? Managed to hold it. I thought I seen him going off the track there. I think he did have a little bit of a moment there. As King's Home goes up the inside of Trunders, I think that was. This is where he spun before. And he's back end of that car's wiggling everywhere at the moment. So Shug's Life, he's had a moment somewhere along the lines. I think I've missed it. He's dropped the P10. And Boosted just cruising. He's just cruising there in P9. And you know what? Good on him. Keeping it on the black stuff, that's what I always say. Keep it on the black stuff, you're probably going to get points.
It's the wet black stuff today.
The wet black, we'll call it silver, or like a midnight blue, a midnight blue.
David with a 30-second time penalty.
I'm expecting a lot of penalties by the end of this race, to be honest. A lot of people seem to be running right on the edge. Apex Finley though, that gap, I was going to say it was down to about 5/10, but it's just jumped up to 7 again. And he's run out of ERS, and Crossfire's barely used anything.
There's absolutely nothing in the fastest lap at the moment between Crossfire and Apex here. Both doing a 1:26. It's
tight. Oh, we're just looking at... Oh, Trunders run wide! We've seen King's Home get up the inside of Trunders at turn 2, but tried to stick it around the outside, but ran into the gravel. But he doesn't seem to have lost out too much. He's still right behind him. But looking closely behind, there's a very scary McLaren, Aston Martin, and a Mercedes ready to capitalise on any mistake that these two make. As well. So we'll go back to the guys at the front. Apex runs wide in Minerali. Hopefully he doesn't get a penalty. I don't think he did. Don't think he gained an advantage, but it's not going to help his cause. He's gonna realise now at this point that he has not got the straight line speed to take the fight to Crossfires. So really at this stage it's just about keeping that pressure on and hoping that he makes a mistake that Apex can capitalise on.
Amaguna's just set the fastest sector 2.
Ooh. Showing his pace. I'm just going to work that out actually. I'm going to try and do it. My Maz isn't exactly the best, as most of these guys know, but Amaguna currently on 131 points. So I'm just going to work out the gap he has to Bugs Bunny. Of course he needs to be within 25 to have a chance at the championship next week as Apex is spun! He's lost onto the gravel! drops to P3. Sal Pancake from the back of the grid now in P2. King's home. He's getting swamped. King David's up the inside Apex Finley. He's now caught up in that train. Oh, he's going to be devastated.
I think the fumes got to his head.
He's trying to push too hard to keep up with Crossfires. He's going to be frustrated with that.
Filling up his water bottle with
diesel
rocket fuel.
So let's see the gap to that. Ooh.
Veloci is off.
Crossfire gets a 3-second time penalty. That's going to frustrate Apex even more because he was within that gap. Apex, if he can keep his pace going, he's trying to go around the outside of King David at the minute, but wasn't the best place to go for a move, I'll be honest. King's home after a spin now, back up into those podium positions. In good nick. Crossfire with another fastest lap. He just seems to keep pumping them in. So yes, I was talking about the gap that Amaguner has to Bugs Bunny. He's a 37-point gap behind the championship leader. So he needs a good result today to close that gap. Really, I think, what's the deficit? If I can do the maths right, he needs at least 12, so that's 4th. He's currently 7th, so it won't be enough for him. Apex Finley, I think, is 27-point gap from memory. I'll just double check quickly. 27 points, so he only needs 2 points today to keep his championship hopes alive. But of course, if he only gets 2, that means he has to win the next race and hope that Bugs Bunny DNFs. So getting 10 at the minute would help him out a lot. It means in the next race, if I do the maths, he has to come at least 2nd. But the 18 he could have had would have been a lot better. But we'll see how things unfold. Sal Pancake, how's he doing? He's out there. He's a nice comfy gap to King's home at the moment. King's home runs wide. Doesn't get a penalty. Don't know, I would say it's likely a warning for that run wide. And Apex dives up the inside of King David. Nicely done. Now you can see it's after King's home.
No touchy going on, that's a good thing.
We love a bit of touchy. These three are still trying to get at each other though. I'm just keeping an eye on Apex. He's got a very angry McLaren. Wants to have a go and get his position back, but all very civil going into turn 2. So, I suppose while we're waiting for these guys to come back round, because the main overtaking spot seems to be turn 2 at the moment. Thoughts on today?
It was a race. I mean, I think the sort of the thing that's getting overshadowed is obviously Kimi's retirement. You know, what he's done for F1. I mean, for those who don't know, this is my first season in F1. So I'm quite new to it, but you know, 20 years behind the wheel of a Formula 1 car, 349 races Kimi's done. It's no mean feat, really. You know, he's deserves his retirement, let's say. But I think when you look at the race today, I'm not a Lewis fan, not a Max fan, so quite impartial to it. I think Lewis has been hard done, but it is motorsport, and these things do happen.
You're right. I think a lot of people are feeling the same way you are at the moment. A lot of news still coming through, so if anything pops up that I notice during the race, I'll be sure to keep you guys informed. I suppose the latest thing I've seen is apparently Mercedes have hired the same, I'll call him a lawyer, I don't know if that's a professional term. Oh, Flotchy gets a 10-second penalty for corner cutting. What did he cut? Oh, he's no front wing. He's had another incident.
He must have went straight over that the chicane.
I wonder, is he going to retire? Has he had enough? He's into the gravel in the last corner. Going to keep it on board. Lucas jumps up to P10. He gets into the pit, speeds in the pit lane. I reckon this is going to be a retirement. I'll be very surprised.
Get him in the comms box. Yeah, he's retired.
So, with 10 drivers left, boosted off the track as Shug's Life goes up the inside. 2. I suppose the biggest battle on track at the minute is between the Mercedes of Apex and the Haas of Kingsholm. Now, Kingsholm's a reserve driver today, but it's surely not looking to do Apex any favours. Really taking the fight to him. As you said, Barry, you were in the comms box, or the party chat with him during the race. He was really enjoying that battle with Apex earlier, so I'd say he's probably happy enough to see him back in his rear view.
Yeah, I've just been looking at the telemetry there, and you know, the time difference between laps, the fastest laps here, between Apex and Kingsholm, is about 8 tenths, give or take.
Oh,
so,
well,
you know,
they were maybe able to see those 8 tenths. Apex is going up the inside. Thinks better of it though and backs out. This is like deja vu. This is like I was talking about this earlier. Yeah, these two seem to be having a Titanic-sized battle. I was trying to think of the word. Me from Northern Ireland, of course, and can't even remember the Titanic. R.I.P. But
you must have had an aunt or an uncle who was on the Titanic, did you?
oh, God knows. I don't know. My family history. Apparently, my family history is Scottish. Apparently, Weir's a Scottish name, but
I suppose somebody's got to be.
No comment. But yes, these two are having a titanic battle. Apex runs wide at Minerali, doesn't get a penalty. I thought maybe that was going to bite him. Amaguner racking up those penalties. Let's have a look and see what he's on. Currently has 9 seconds, and he needs at least P4 today to keep his hopes alive. Even at that, P4 would be hoping for a DNF from Bugs Bunny.
If you look at the last 2 races that Bugs has been in as well, they've both been DNFs. DNF'd on Tuesday night, was it? I think it was the second from last lap.
Oh yeah, and it was this track. It was this track.
Yeah, it was this track, and I think he probably would have finished P2 maybe. I mean, I'm grateful for it because I ended up in P4 because of it. So hey ho, hey!
Oh, Apex gets his penalty.
Apex. Yeah.
He's gonna be getting frustrated trying to get round Kings on me.
Well deserved, penalty. Well deserved. Gas guzzler.
Maybe we should have the F1 game steward in real life. They might make better decisions. Although, let's be honest. Oh, he's trying to stick a. Oh, I thought he was going to stick a wheel up the inside of Kingsholm there, but Kingsholm comes off okay.
He's going to get him on the straight, yeah, I'd say.
I don't know. It seems that Kingsholm just has a great. You know, he's just worked out how to defend turn 2 well, and it seems to be the only opportunity that Apex has to get around him. With the Slipstream and ERS. King David runs wide there, he gets a penalty. Tronders runs wide, he gets a penalty. Crossfire strikes again, pumping in.
Look at that time, man.
He's just so rapid. Oh, Kingsholm runs wide, dips a foot in the gravel. This could be a move. Apex is right on his gearbox now, already looking up the inside of him. Let's go on board. So, all 3 of these drivers using all of their battery deployment. Apex wants to be ahead before he goes into the corner. They're side by side again, but Kingsholm's been very late in the brakes today. Does it again, side by side. Kingsholm
pulls it off.
He's been doing that all day, just defending that corner like a champ. Like I say, he's a reserve driver today, and he's doing Apex no favours. Kingsholm gets a penalty though, so now it's an even playing field between them two. Sal Pancake, he's like, I mean, he deserves more screen time because he's been doing great.
Apex has done the take.
Oh, and Kingsholm's round again.
Oh no, what's he done?
He doesn't look to have any damage though, but I'm pretty sure I've seen some contact with the wall. It's the same corner. I'm not sure if there was contact between him and Apex again, but lights up the rear as he's getting back up. That looks like he's trying to put it on the wall. I don't think he's a happy boy now. King David's had an incident. He spun around. That's significantly taking the pressure off Apex. Veloce leaving the session there. I don't think Kingsholm's a happy boy with that incident. He's all over the track at the moment. But yeah.
Gonna get a 10-second penalty here.
Did you cut in the corner?
Oh, he didn't. He didn't. He took the Veloci approach and went straight over the S's. But
Got
I
away
think he
with it.
slowed down enough not to get the penalties.
25 laps left here too. Amaguner's just on the cusp of where
King
he needs
David's
to be.
out.
King David's out. He's retired in the pit lane, and he's had enough. I'm expecting Kingston maybe to do the same as he comes in. The pits, I was expecting. Oh, he did retire. I was expecting that. So that's Boosted is currently on for his best ever finish, to my knowledge. That's P8 for him. I know he's at the back, but I mean, it's like I've said it a couple of times this stream. Keep it in the black stuff, or the light grey, or the
There's
midnight
still a good
blue.
chance he could wrap up some penalties and get disqualified from the session.
That'll be another point. I know we were talking to Nemvitas during the week. He's having a great time in prison. He says he regrets everything he's done.
He was very thankful for the bar of soap I sent him.
Yeah, as long as he's holding on to it tightly in the shower. But yeah, he's of course anyone who hasn't watched Tuesday, he went to prison this week for the crime of
putting wets on during a dry lap.
Wets during a dry race. Obviously, that's only a 1 week conviction. It's considered a minor crime, but enough for prison time anyway. So Apex still, I think he's going to be comfortably P3 at the moment. If he just keeps it in the black stuff, like I say. MFC Trunders in for a good result in P4. Amaguner though needs that P4 position though if he's to have a chance. And if I'm right, he's got 9 seconds of penalties, which isn't going to help his case.
Shugs did say in the pod chat earlier on that his goal for today was to not get any penalties. And so far, he's the only one on track who's not accumulated any time penalties.
Exactly, and no, he's got a Ferrari breathing down his neck, so see if he can keep it clean under pressure. So, haven't really talked about Shugs much, you know. He's drove a good race. He's sitting there at P6. I mean, the guys in front of him have penalties now. He's 26 seconds off the back of the pack at the moment, but you know, credit to him if he can keep it clean. I suppose good practice, I suppose, is what I'll say. But look, I say Germany's on his gearbox at the minute with that 9 seconds worth of penalties. He would really need to clear them now. I don't think he's going to be able to gain 9 seconds before the end of the race, but I've been proved wrong before.
I'm just looking here at the stop strategies as well, and Crossfire Strikes and Shug's Life are the only 2 cars not to pit. Obviously, with the wet tyres, you don't. Oh, Shug's had a bit of a twitch. He's been taken by Lucas.
Still no penalties, though.
Still no penalties.
Like I say, he just has to keep it on the black stuff now. Within that, like pulling away 9 seconds and 3 laps would be an impressive feat for Lucas of Germany there. Too. Amaguner's still on the back of Trunders, but it's not looking good for him to get what he needs today, which would leave it as Apex and Bugs Bunny for the finale.
Apex another 3-second time
penalty. So I'm not sure. So 6 seconds. I think he is still safe from Trunders at the minute. It's close, but I think he is still safe, and I'm sure he won't get any more penalties before the end of this. But Apex is currently 8 seconds ahead with 9. Yes, my Maz says he's still 2.5 seconds clear, at least, of Trunders, so as long as he doesn't get any more penalties, he should be fine. Shugs, although he has lost 3 seconds in the 1 lap, might drop off the back of Lucas here. Let's have a look at Sad Pancake and the Red Bull. He's had a great race today. He wasn't even meant to be racing today, only for the lobby.
Still got 78% ERS to use as well, which is quite impressive.
Just chilling. Crossfire, I think, is going for fastest lap here. I don't think he's got much competition at the moment. This guy's been head and shoulders above everyone else today, as well. And then, of course, there's Boosted, who's he's done well. He's done well today. You know, he's kept on the black stuff. There's no problem. There he is.
What happened?
Mister, I want to go to the beach. Into the gravel.
I crashed.
Oh, it's been...
That
what happened,
big
actually?
corner. That corner I've just put overtake on too quickly. Apex was ruining my ego, so I had to keep, try and stay ahead of him. I wasn't gonna give the champ an easy time, was I?
No. And he could be a double champ with the way things are going.
I've just
Not
watched
today,
Boosted
though.
there on the straight, and he didn't use his 8th gear down the straight.
Maybe he's lost it.
I suppose it technically could be a possibility. I'm just going to have a look here myself.
Well, that's been a little bit dominant from Crossfires, hasn't it?
Yeah, he's just drove it clean and hasn't had any
Kept it on the black stuff.
Kept it on the black stuff, or the midnight blue, depending on what colour you want to call it. But yeah, dominant drive. He's going to be a Monday next season, like I've been saying. He'll be one to keep an eye on. Monday being the sweaty day. We'll call it the sweaty day. Sweaty Monday. Sweaty Monday.
I was offered a seat on a Monday, but obviously declined. Because obvious reasons.
Yeah, I was going to say we need our own day for you, don't we?
Special Sundays.
A league of his own. But yeah, so I'm just going to try and do the maths quickly in my head. So where he is at the minute, if he still sticks with 3rd, which I think he will, yeah he will, he'll be 15 points, so that'll leave him with someone do 25, take 13. Is that 12? He needs to outscore Bugs Bunny by 12 points next week to take the championship on Sunday. But as Barry rightfully said, Bugs Bunny hasn't finished the last 2 races he's done. We don't know.
I don't know what happened. I saw Amiaguna just go straight on into the wall. I don't really.
Maybe something. I'm not sure, but I suppose.
I don't know if his wheel turned off or something.
Amiaguna's very good at putting this footage in, so I'm sure he'll enlighten us.
Let's just say one thing when in the party chat with King's Home earlier on. His excitement, let's say, of the incident of Amiaguna and Bugs Bunny was quite refreshing, let's say. A lot of oohs and ahs.
Just a query. I've watched the stream back. You like my start then?
You got a stonking launch, like to say the least. I didn't even see it happen. I just seen you going into turn 2, and I was like, where'd that happen?
Secret. Go straight to 2nd and then to 3rd. Absolute dream.
You've just told everyone your strat.
I went straight to 8. That's probably my problem.
Oh, I put it. No, actually, sorry. I put it in reverse first.
Apex gets an all-time penalty.
Oh, he's given 3rd place to Trunders at this race.
Is he fine? I don't.
Ooh, no,
I think he's just. Oh, he's 3 seconds clear. If Trunders hadn't hit that penalty, it would have been a different story. I think, to my knowledge, there's a yellow flag in the final sector. Did Pancake dip it in the sand? I'm not sure. But I didn't even talk about him. Crossfire, you've done so well that you've actually made it boring, son. But you won. You've won the race, man. Like, I mean, it wasn't even like a surprise, but great drive from him. He's just done what he had to do today. We know he's got pace on track and he's kept it consistent. So comfortable win for him. Sad Pancake, I suppose, driver of the day for me. Didn't participate in qualifying. I think lap 9 was.
It's a terrible cut you've got there, Joe.
I think you get yourself down for a COVID test there, lad. That sounds a bit ropey.
It wasn't just down your throat.
He's done really well. He's come right through the field to finish P2 in the podium, and then Apex Finley has kept his championship hopes alive. Needs to outscore Bugs Bunny by 12 points next week in Abu Dhabi, which is at least P4, and Bugs Bunny can't finish, which is.
Shug's life moves up a spot because of the clean race.
And then Boosted, which I believe is his best finishing position.
This is the time he could have been it.
I imagine it will be the biggest commentator's curse ever, but he goes home and P8. Let's have a look at the standings. Where is he? Boosted.
He's probably jumped my position.
Boosted with his first points of the year. Good on you, Boosted. Like I said, I've noticed improvements in him, and there's his first points. Get on you, man. That's what, P8, what's that, 4 points? Get on him. But there's your winner. That is Crossfire Strikes, who just drove a
Just to let the listeners at home know that Kingsholm's verdict of what happened in the Armaguna Bugs Bunny incident was correct. He has put on the chat saying that he's real disconnected.
Ah. That'll be an interesting one. So, we'll probably go to the stewards. I don't think Armaguna will get any sort of a quali ban or anything. Might get points though for the damage, but I don't think he's accumulated enough points for a qualifying ban into the final race. But Stenos, Apex, Twitch TV, Bugs Bunny, and Armaguna all had a chance. Have a chance in the championship, but now it's only Apex and Bugs Bunny into the final race at Abu Dhabi next week. So that's where we're at. We are finished here today, and thank you very much for joining us. Folks, we'll see you next week. We'll see you Monday. Well, Kingsholm will. I'll be on the track then throwing shapes. Overtakes left, right and centre.
Yeah, I will.
Do you know what I mean? So
Gloves are off now.
Gloves
Abu
are
Dhabi.
off. I know. I want to win. What do you call it? The constructors. You know. Plus, I haven't won a race since Monaco. It's annoying me. I want to win a race,
yeah,
man.
well, we're gonna have to wait and see. So,
yeah,
be my last commentary of me being 26 as well, actually.
Yeah, it's your birthday next week.
Start birthday week.
You old
Yeah, it's your birthday
person.
the week after. Oh, yeah, I know you're just a spring chicken, Barry, but.
Well, I'm going to cut it here
birthday.
before we get into age debates and all that carry on. But thank you very much for tuning in. Please remember to like and subscribe, and peace out, I suppose. Bye.